Hello and thanks for staying on LN 24/7. This is Politics Now. My name is Mono Balagobo. We've got quite a great show for you today. Still talking politics as always. But this time around, our focus will be on the Labour Party tensions. Let's give you a rundown of some of our talking points. First, we look at the wave of defections, leadership tussle, 2027 towards a united front. What's it going to be? Well, our guest tonight is Peter Hassan, Labour Party chieftain. Peter is the chairman of the Labour Party in Kaduna. And of course, Solomon Danjuma, another Labour Party chieftain, who served as the 2023 FCT presidential campaign coordinator for Peter Obi, will be joining us virtually today on the show. We'll take a quick breather and break it all down and have some great conversation. Just stay with us. Good to have you back. Nigeria's major opposition parties may have unwittingly reinforced perceptions they will never be able to provide viable alternatives to the ruling All Progressive Congress APC government. The internal wranglings within the People's Democratic Party PDP and the Labour Party LP continues to validate these perceptions. You would expect that a healthy democratic system relies on a vibrant opposition to offer alternative policies and hold the government accountable. Just take a look at how the Conservatives in the UK hold the Labour government of Keir Starmer accountable, or take a look at how the Republicans kept the Democrats in check and sent them packing in the last elections, taking back the presidency, the Senate, and Congress. However, the current state of the opposition, particularly the PDP and the Labour Party, raises doubts about their readiness to challenge the APC's agenda in the 2027 elections. The ruling APC has mainly remained unopposed at the National Assembly. On this show today, you will discover that we will be focusing on the Labour Party. But do recall, on this same show, we talked about the PDP's internal wranglings. Now, the Labour Party, just like the PDP, has been unable to pose a united front, plagued by irreconcilable leadership disputes. Before now, the Labour Party was regarded as a special purpose vehicle in political circles due to Peter Obi joining in 2022. Attempts by the Nigerian Labour Congress NLC, led by Joe Ajaero, to reform the party were registered by powerful forces within. And of course, the party's convention, which could have been a turning point, was reportedly mishandled, preserving the status quo. Now, this led Peter Obi and the party's only governor, Alex Otti, to hold a stakeholders meeting in Abia State, where they established a 29-member caretaker committee led by former Minister of Finance, Nenadi Usman. However, Julius Abure's leadership challenged this in court and secured a judgment validating the Inewe Anambra State Convention, where he was elected. Now, it does appear that the party's woes are certainly worsening, as another member of the party in the House of Representatives, Daniel Cholom, on Tuesday defected to the All Progressive Congress. This development was made public when Cholom's letter of defection was read at plenary by Speaker Abbas Tajuddin. 5 of Cholom's colleagues from the Labour Party, Tochukwu Okere, Imo State, Donatus Matthew from Kaduna, Basi Akiba Cross River, Yahweh Esosa Edo, and Dalyop from Plateau State, had defected to the APC last week. According to Cholom, his decision to defect was due to the leadership crisis in the Labour Party, which has made it difficult for him to identify which faction to associate with. This, he claimed, has affected his ability to effectively represent his constituents. Cholom also stated that he has reflected deeply on the leadership crisis in the party and has come to the conclusion that he will be better served the interest of his people within the fold of the APC. Let's take a listen to the Speaker of the House of Assembly.
I wish to formally notify you, and through you, the entire honorable members of the 10th Assembly, of my decision to defect from the Labour Party to the All.
However, on Tuesday, Deputy Majority Whip of the House, George Ozodimobo, has described Cholom and other defecting lawmakers as men without ideology. Ozodinobi insisted that Shalom's seat should be declared vacant, citing that the defecting lawmakers used the platform of the Labour Party to get elected but failed to stay loyal to the party.
Mr. Speaker, we cannot continue to put the cart before the horse. That letter that we read is not ripe.
Now, last week when 4 of them decided to leave the Labour Party had vowed to pursue legal action against the 4 members who defected to the All Progressive Congress, APC. Labour Party spokesman Obiora Ofor said nobody reserves the right to defect with the party's mandate. He said, in his words, there is absolute peace in the Labour Party. Therefore, no one elected on the ticket of the Labour Party has the constitutional protection to the camp from the party, along with the party's mandate. There's so many questions to ask, and our guests, who are longtime members of the Labour Party, will perhaps help us get some answers to why one of Nigeria's major political parties is having this challenge at this time. Well, joining us right now is Solomon Danjuma from the Federal Capital Territory right here in Abuja. Thank you so much for your time, Honorable Solomon.
Thank you very much.
Now, what is your reaction to this development? I know your party has been plagued with some crisis, but it tends to be going far. Is this a wave of defections, and what are your reactions?
Well, the issue of defection to mostly the All Progressive Congress, the APC, from their federal lawmakers is highly condemnable, because the Labour Party is a party that gave them platform to emerge at the platter of gold using the wave of Peter Obi, and then looking at how other Nigerians perceived that the APC and the PDP had failed Nigerian citizens, looking up to the Labour Party as a new party that will bring about new Nigeria. This is barely 1 year and some months, and they're already defecting back to other political party than the political party that make them emerge as federal lawmakers. As one of the stakeholders of the Labour Party, I condemn such acts. And I know that similarly, so many supporters in their various constituencies are not happy about such developments. We are thinking they've emerged under the Labour Party. It's time to all join hands together to build the party, not to start running here and there when it is.
Now, some of the reasons they raised, is it genuine to you? Is there a crisis in your party?
Not really. Not really. We've not lost our ideology. I only see, sorry if they feel offended, but I just see some of these lawmakers defecting as desperate politicians. Till date, Nigerians are still looking up to the Labour Party as that party that will bring about positive change in Nigeria. You could see during the last election, the massive turnout of the people coming out to vote for the Labour Party, and to also vote for Peter Obi, seeing that a new Nigeria is possible with the Labour Party and with Peter Obi. It's no doubt that the Labour Party won the presidential election, because we could hear conventions from some of the stakeholders in various states, let's say Rivers State, where some persons came out to say Labour Party actually won in Rivers State, but the governor then outturned the results, and lots of confessions really coming out. And from the reactions of from the people, voters, a lot of people have already confessed that the presidential candidate of swept almost majority of the states. But it's unfortunate that INEC have to do what they did, which both internationally is being frowned at. When talking about beavers, talking about electronical transmission of results, which was not done as promised by INEC. But not to digress from the point, the Labour Party, we are still focused on bringing about the new Nigeria, which is very, very possible. And you could see, particularly using the FCT where I stay, where the legislators of the Labour Party are really representing their constituents very well, starting with the House of Rep member here, who I can vouch for, has been a Labour Party member even before the coming in of Peter or presidential candidate Peter Obi into the Labour Party. Honorable Joshua Chinedu Obika has been a member of the Labour Party. And that's the reason why such persons cannot think of defection, because at first they had a conviction and they were in line with the ideology of the party, not those who just swing into the party because of the wind of the Peter Obi, as it was really rising. People saying the Labour Party is the new party to beat. So a lot of people accidentally find themselves in Labour Party because of desperation to win election, while some persons are bent on really putting hands together with other stakeholders of the party to build the party. So our ideology still remains that new Nigeria is possible, a new Nigeria that is free of corrupt practices, a new Nigeria where citizens will have equal opportunities and equal rights, no justice operation, a new Nigeria where policies that favors the masses will be looked into, a new Nigerian that considered a common man, not a Nigerian that just wakes up to announce on policies that are too harsh on the masses, causing economic meltdown. Labour Party is still producing and will continue to produce quality leaders. Those that live can live, but it's unfortunate that they are living. But it is clearly showing us that they were never meant to be with us. And we are still open to embrace quality leaders that will come and build this party, because the hopes of Nigeria is still on the Labour Party.
Honorable Solomon, let's look at one of the talking points of these lawmakers who said it is difficult. Cholom said it was difficult for him to be able to deliver to his constituents just being under your party. What does that say about what's going on?
Affected their ability to deliver. There is no political party presently in Nigeria that does not have political crisis, that do not have a crisis. The PDP also, they have leadership crisis at their NWC, the National Working Committee. You could see them having meetings here and there. The other one they had in Plateau. We could see them also holding one in Taraba. They've been going around trying to see how they can reconcile their differences. Same way the Labour Party is also going around. There is no political party that's never had crisis. But whenever there are crises, elected officials are automatic stakeholders of the party. It's no time to run. It's time to come to the table and see how this crisis can be resolved. So if they are running away from the party because they feel there is crisis, the party they are defecting to, that political party, don't they also have crisis? Does that mean that as they go back to that party and they see that there is crisis, they also run away from that party? You cannot run away from a house which you have built. If they were involved in the building of this party, they wouldn't run away. Like myself, I cannot run away from a house which I have built to strangers or to other people. No matter what happens, I will stay to defend that house. So how has it affected their deliverables? It has not affected the allowances that they are receiving. It has not affected their intervention, zonal allowances or funds that have been given to them to undertake their constituency project. It has not affected them proposing bills in the National Assembly. It has not affected them raising motions concerning things that are bordering on their constituents. So how has it affected them? You see, leaders have to start thinking about the next generation than thinking about next election. All of these people now defecting now are beginning to see that if they romance with the ruling party, maybe they have greater chances of returning back to the National Assembly. And I want to assure them that whoever that have defected from our party during the 2027 election, the electorate will prove them wrong. Electorate will tell them that we voted you under this Labour Party because we believe in Labour Party. And I'm telling you, the voters will shame them because they are not returning. Because people genuinely and deliberately voted for the Labour Party. So how has it affected them? Their funds, their projects released for them, that has not stopped their project from being given. That has not stopped their allowances from moving. That has not stopped them, whether the Senate President for allowing them to raise motion in the floor of the Senate or on the floor of the House or the Speaker. All of these things are there. These are just some flimsy excuses, an opportunity for them to run. They are running because they have never been our member.
I know that your party, of course, has reacted to this development, pledging to take it up in the courts. What is this going to look like for your party? And what does your party constitution say about how to deal with issues like this?
Well, our constitution is not different from, is not far different from other constitutional or political parties. But what we're looking at, we look at what is the Electoral Act saying about defectors. just as it is held in the River State. What are their basis of defecting? They are elected lawmakers from a particular political party, let's say the Labour Party, which they belong to. They claim that there are crises in the Labour, but so long as I know, the party crisis of Labour Party have been resolved. It has been resolved in the sense that the court has ruled it out that the Julius Abure faction is a legal structure of the Labour Party, and the that the other factions were condemning that it is not of existence. The court also further proved that the New Convention meets up with all the criteria as it should. The notice sent to INEC and every other criteria were met. So confirming that the convention was done appropriately, and there is no problem with that. If we go now to our national party office, Barrister Julius Abure sits as the national chairman, and every other structure is being maintained from the national, state, and the local government. In fact, as I talk to you, we are warming up for our local government area councils election in the FCT, which the timetable is expected by February or March. So the grounds at which they defected, which of course, written to the leadership of the National Assembly and setting the reasons why they are defective. And I know it's not far-fetched for them to say there are crises in the party. So my question is that which party has no crisis? And so long as I know the Labour Party crisis have been resolved, even the principal, the presidential campaign, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party has not come out to say he's not a member. He's still paying his dues in the Labour Party. So on what grounds we then now see they are defecting to another party? And of course, our party have reacted, and we are going to take it up with them so that it will be proven that they defected illegally, and let the court and let the law take its course over defectors who defected without genuine reason, without content reason for defection. And of course, they will lose their seats.
Now, still talking about the leadership crisis, I want to ask you, is Peter Obi in agreement with Abure's chairmanship?
Peter Obi is not in agreement. You would have come out to condemn it. But the Peter Obi that I know, that I worked with as a presidential campaign coordinator of the FCT, he obeys court orders. And that's the reason why when the court did all they could to turn the tribunal against it to see not in his favor, he protested in the Court of Appeal. He still went to Supreme Court, and the courts did all its verdicts. And Peter Obi told all Nigerians to be calm. There were a lot of agitation. Nigerian youth wanted to take up the street to say, no, that mandate must be restored back to Peter Obi. You could see Peter Obi stand. Peter Obi stand and said, let the law take its course. So Peter Obi has no opposition, even though he fought the system to say this system is not just, there is need for reforms in this system, but he has never come out to say disobey court orders. So for that, I've known him to obey court orders. For court to have given this ruling, Peter Obi is in consent of this court order, and he agrees with it. He has not come to make any statement. That is his stand. It has always been his stand, obeying court orders.
Okay, now I will just say Peter Obi's relationship with Abure is strained. Also, Abure being at loggerheads with Alex Otti, who is, a stakeholder, the only governor under the platform that was brought into power under the platform of your party. Does that bode well for peace?
You could see here, Peter Obi's Excellency, Peter Obi, not coming out to condemn Barrister Julius Abure or the Labour Party, as I said earlier on. The relationship that you're talking about between the presidential candidate of the Labour Party and Barrister Julius Abure, yes, there were a lot of allegations that were melted on Barrister Julius Abure, which Peter Obi, until the court ruled it out, was still bent on finding the real truth of it. And the best people to rule that out is the court. A lot of allegations against the national chairman and some members of the national working committees. And looking at the obedient faction too, many who were no Labour Party members and many who are not still Labour Party members came with a kind of, will I say, intention to reshuffle the Labour Party. And a political party that was not built yesterday cannot just be reshuffled like that or taken over the leadership. there are certain procedures that must be grounds that he is not fit to become the national chairman, or he should be removed. That is not the way to remove a person. So if you're talking about their relationship being tampered with, that is on a personal, is on our political ground. Because I remember the day we went for solidarity visits to Barrister Julius Abure at the national headquarters here in Abuja. His Excellency Peter Obi also came around to say hi to us. Until now, he has not appeared on any national television or written on any of his social media handles or made any statements of him having issues with Barrister Abure, having personal relationship issues. No, we've not had that. Have you heard of any?
Well, Honorable Solomon, from the reports that I've been following, there's been nothing to that effect. But would you expect a national chairman to, you would expect a national chairman to move with their presidential candidate? I mean, you see President Bola Tinubu, basically everywhere he goes, Ganduje goes. So that's what is bringing about the speculation that something is wrong with the relationship. There seems to be a kind of leadership tussle.
Let me just quickly cut you. I watched the clip of Peter Obi's visit to former Vice President Atiku, even though the media did not really show us extensively their conversation, but a lot of bloggers and journalists presidential candidates, and it was suspected that they are moving for merger. But you could see that in that meeting too, the People Democratic Party national chairman was not also involved in that meeting. So this is consultation going on between prospective aspirants that wish to run for 2027 general elections. So it's their own thing that they are doing. When they get to party level, of course, all parties that want to merge, they will come on board. And that is when the national chairman of the Labour Party also will come on board with other political parties who are interested to merge.
All right. So what's the way forward in all of this? How does the Labour Party ensure this defection does not continue?
Just last week, Friday, a committee, electorate was inaugurated to factor in all the obedience into the Labour Party structure. So you see, after the court verdict, a lot of things have changed. A lot of things have changed in the sense that a lot of people are coming on board. A lot of people are coming on board. All the differences now are beginning to get settled. We are beginning to settle all our differences. Just as I told you, that there is no political party that does not have their own crisis. So our own crisis also is at the verge of resolve. That is the reason why. You've not been hearing the Nanadi moving around again, holding meetings or attending functions. You could see that has ceased since the court gave that verdict. So the Labour Party now, before February, I believe that everything would have fallen in place, and you see a smooth running again. Even the tongue and teeth, sometimes they do have conflicts, but at some point they unite again to cooperate to keep the body functioning. So whatever thing that you are seeing in the Labour Party, it's happened in the past 6-7 months ago, but just this October, November, you could see that the formation again is beginning to be formidable again, and that is the best of it. Whenever you have misunderstandings, you come to the table, you understand, and then you move stronger again together.
Now, talking about these lawmakers who are defecting, most especially in the House of Assembly, would you say that they have been fully playing the role of the opposition? Because that's one thing that many voters, especially those who voted for your party, have been saying, that lawmakers under your party are not speaking out loud as they should be. I know they are not the majority in the House, but one would expect that they will be vocal about some of the policies being put, especially those that bills that pass through the House of Assembly, that they should put up a fight.
The lawmakers in our political party, you can see clearly that they are minority, and there's a largely saying that the minority will have a say, but the majority will always have their way. Even though it's not as expected at all as all Nigerians wish, we wish to see them talk more. We could see the likes of Ireti Kingibe. She's also doing well. some policies that are not going well, she speaks out. The House of Rep member also of the Abuja North, Honorable Chinedu Obika, is doing well, and some other few others. I'm talking about those at my covers here, at my domain. They are doing well, even though it's not enough. Nigerians have had comments when Nigerians want them to do more, but you can see that the kind of Senate presidents that the 10th Assembly have, and the kind of speaker that they have, they are more of imposing. You could see some lawmakers of their own political party also challenging them openly, because it seems as if there is an attempt to deliberately voices in the National Assembly. I'm saying this without fear of no favor. Attempt to frustrate some, that whenever you are always seen not being on this side of the Senate president find a way of shutting you up, or not even allowing you have the flow to say anything. And the same thing is being seen at the National House of Reps. So I want the opportunity to see the masses should also buckle up and speak more, because this is representing us in a situation whereby the Senate president or the speaker try to suppress the voices of these minorities. I would have loved to also see the masses also reacting. They are also reacting because the government is of the people, for the people, and by the people. So it is not only on the lawmakers, but I still want to use the opportunity to call on the Labour Party lawmakers, which I've always done, to still speak more and stand against some policies that are anti-people. They should not just all rub minds together with the ruling party and assume all is well. Things that are not going well, they should come out and speak out against those policies.
All right. Now, there are many who would say that because of the challenges in your party, that was the sole reason you did not perform very well in the Edo-Ondo elections. What is your assessment of what happened in the last by-elections, and how does that position your party for 2027?
So I want to say, during the last outing, the Labour Party performed very poor, and the reason is not far-fetched. The differences that existed between the Obedient and the Labour Party structure is what affected the past election, the by-elections that we've seen that took place. But I'm telling you now that with and the new negotiations are played on, with the agreements that are far, and with the reconciliation that is ongoing, and some that have already reached resolve, that henceforth our outings, you're going to see a better performance. Even though I know 2027 is far, but it's not. Even though 2027 is far, it's not far. They say proper planning prevent poor performance, and proper planning promote progress. I want to say that this first 1 year has not really gone well with the Labour Party, but going forward with the kind of resolve that we had between the obedient structure and the Labour Party, we are going to see an enhanced performance in the next election, whatever election that the Labour Party will participate in.
All right, we have to let you go, Honorable Solomon Danjuma. Thank you so much for your time.
I appreciate it so much.
All right, you're still watching Politics Now. We'll take a quick breather, and joining us live in the studio is the Labour Party chairman for Kaduna State. To stay with us, we'll be having a great conversation, and we'll be right back.
What makes the political system what it is today? What are the recurring issues? The tussle for power.
An extremely problematic area.
The tension. The instability of the system. Join Ellen 24/7 as we take you inside the local and international political arena in the world of politics.
Apologize for saying that I was corrupt. I'm not here to call out his lies. Everybody knows he's a liar.
Watch Politics Now on Ellen 24/7.
Don't miss Politics Now on Ellen 24/7.
Many thanks for staying with us. It's still politics now, right here on LN 24/7, and we've been discussing Labour Party tensions. Let's give you a rundown of our talking points once again. We're looking at wave of defections, leadership tussle 2027 towards a united front. And joining us live in our studios in Abuja is Honorable Peter Hassan, Labour Party chieftain. He is the chairman of the Labour Party in Kaduna and also the national secretary for the Middle Belt Youths. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us on the show.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so from my introduction, a lot, even prior to this time, has been happening in your party. That of the leadership issue has been resolved by the courts, but we are well aware that a lot of people still in the party are yet to come to full terms of the court's verdict, which has reinstated Abure as the national chairman. And last week, we saw 4 lawmakers defect from your party to the APC. And also yesterday, another lawmaker defected from your party to the APC, citing internal challenges as the sole reason for their defection. To you, are these genuine, and what do you think is the motivation behind these defections?
Good afternoon, Nigerians, and good afternoon, the world. Thank you for inviting me to this program. I appreciate. As you said, my name is Honorable Pastor Peter Hassan. I stand for the truth and nothing but the truth. And I want to tell you, I've been in the Labour Party for over a decade. I can tell you how the norms, the dons of Labour Party goes. But all the same, I just want you to understand that those who left the party are those who have not really been part of the party. They only came, took advantage of the people's simplicity and clamoring for change, and after which the people elected them into power. They have no reason to leave whatsoever. Go and find out from their archives what they've done in the party. These are opportunists. They were never grassroots members of the party. They were never contributors of the party. They were never supporters of the party. But because the party feels, oh, this party is for all as sundry, so the party brought them in, come, benefit from the party, help to develop the party so that we can move. So if they leave at this stage, we are not surprised. Go and find out in their constituency, they've not done anything in their constituency. Go and find out in their party, in their ward level, in their local government level, they've not done anything for the party. So they just felt, oh, they have used the party to this extent, they want to move to another political party, but at the end of it, watch and see what will happen to them. We'll take back our tickets.
All right. Now, how are you going to do that? Because we also have a similar situation in Rivers State, and there's been a struggle of whether they are members of the State House of Assembly or they are not members. And do recall that it was the Speaker of the House of Reps, Abbas Tajuddin, that read out that letter. So that seems there probably would be some sort of backing. Anyway, that is just speculation. No. But how are you going to fight this?
I just want you to understand this. It is normal for any letter that gets to the National Assembly, if it is in the green chambers or the red chambers, the speaker have to read it. It's a letter. Reading it does not mean it has become a law. The speaker will honor any letter that comes. And reading the letters that social persons have defected is because they've defected. So the speaker's own work is to read it. And he has read the letter. So it's not left for the aggrieved political party or aggrieved persons to do what? To recall them back or what? Take a legal action, and which is what the party is going to do. And the party have started the process already.
Now, let's talk about the issues. Would you say that there are some issues in your party? Because when I talk to some of you, you say there is no problem at all.
There is no any issues in Labour Party.
Then why are people leaving? Because this said lawmaker said that he finds it difficult to, align himself with a particular faction. You have the Abure faction, and then you have the other faction.
How will you come into a house where a landlord is sitting, a owner of the house, and you say there is a faction, when the landlord is not dead, and you say, no, somebody is claiming inheritance and another is claiming inheritance? It's not possible. Abure has been there. The same Abure signed this same person's ticket into various positions during the last election. So how will you now come today and say there's a faction? Let me take you to a case study of Kaduna State. let me use the lawmaker in Kaduna is from my local government, is from my village. He's representing my own federal constituency. Tell me, which problem is this in the party, in the state that makes him to defect? There is no any problem. These people are just people who are clamoring for powers and people who get it at no cost. At no cost. Call my lawmaker and ask him how much did he pay? What did he spend? Nothing. He just got this at the platform because the party gave him the platform to run the race. And he gets there. If tomorrow we say there is problem, what effort as the 38 National Assembly members, what effort did they do in order to do what? To come into the issue? There is nothing. So it means there was never an issue. The issue is concerning power. And the party took a stand. The 37 state chairmen, 37 state secretaries, the 37 youth leaders, 37 women leaders, 37 organizing secretary, 37 treasurer, every state brought seven persons to an electional accord as provided by the party constitution, and we all gathered at Nnewi and we elected Julius Abure as our leader. Will you tell me now that 37 chairmen and secretaries who stands as the National Working Committee, as the National Executive Council, take a decision, and somebody who was just given a ticket to run the race will now come and say, no, what the people who gave the ticket? But would you agree that it was as a result of Peter Obi's influence that you were able to garner the number of votes that you were able to get in 2023? I will tell you it was not true. It's not Peter Obi's influence. It's because Nigeria is tired. And Nigeria are looking for a soft landing. So Peter Obi did not play any factor at all only came in the number of votes that your party got in 2023. Peter Obi came only as a person. He came as a person, and a lot of persons go and find out 58% of the expenses of campaign materials and everything were done by Nigerians. It wasn't Peter Obi that did it. It was Nigerians that spent their money. You will see them, they call themselves obedient this, obedient that. They printed face cap, printed this. There are some people who will say that it was as a result of the trust that they had in the person of Peter Obi and not necessarily the party. If that is the case, why didn't that happen when he got a ticket as vice presidential candidate in PDP? Why didn't that happen? Well, I can't speak for everybody. I'm only trying to tell you, Honorable, I can't speak for everybody, but there are people, opportunity that came for Nigerians to get the platform, and he got the platform, and Nigerians are tired with APC government, and they have to run. Pastor Hassan, now, do you recall that a lot of Nigerians will definitely say that they were tired of the combination of APC and PDP? Good. So that came about Labour Party. The party first before the individual. Peter Obi's name cannot run election because in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Electoral Act as amended 2022, Peter Obi cannot run as an individual candidate. It has to go through a platform. So the platform first before the individual. But there are some people, because, okay, now, when you compare your performance during the 2023 general elections, yes, and then the second, the election that brought President Muhammadu Buhari's second term, yes, if you compare the votes, what would you make of the votes you got during that year and in 2023? How would you make sense of it to buttress your point? Very, very simple. A child, as of 2019, a child that just got admission 2019 into university, as long as Nigerian university say 4 years, by 2023 the child has graduated. So all the mistakes that the child did 2019 when he was in secondary school, as he gets to university, he has adjusted, and that's why youth service will come. So as of 2019, Labour Party did not get it at that extent, but we had House of Reps, we have State Assembly cut across. We have councillors, we have chairmen across as of 2019. So I want to tell you that 2023 election was to tell you that Labour Party improved, which you will see more in 2027 election. Now, let's understand something clearly.
prior to the 2023 elections, these stakeholders who are fighting for the power and the soul of the Labour Party were united. So what led to this division that you are saying that some people want to take over the landlord of that owns the house itself? I don't know if that makes sense to you. What happened? What led to this division, so to speak?
Let me tell you the truth. From the beginning, when you go through a political platform to contest an election and you get to the seat of power, the first thing you have to do is to align with the party, the norms and dons of the party. That's number one. Number two, you contribute and support in building the party, not going to hijack power. Let me tell you in the first place.
So Peter Obi did not build Labour Party.
I am telling
post
you,
2023 elections.
Peter Obi came to build his political career through Labour Party. If Labour Party is not there, he would have used another political party. And the party maybe wouldn't have gotten to this extent. And I'm telling you, the name of Labour Party and the logo of Labour Party brings a lot of people into the party. Don't forget it's Mama, Papa, Pikin. So everybody finds it as a mother, let me go to it. Let me go to Labour Party. As a son, let me go to Labour Party. As a mother, as a
and
mother,
you
whatever.
still insist that it was not as a result of Peter Obi.
I am still telling you it's as a result of the party coming together to agree that we are going to have a way forward for the party. And that was what happened.
Now, there are some people who will fault the leadership of Abure because, I mean, I was at the Supreme Court during the, the legal trial and all of that. I mean, he was part of the legal counsel for Peter Obi. So definitely, there must have been some form of a closure. And that period must have been a period for them to bond together in terms of, okay, if we do not win this case, what do we do? How can we move the party forward? Now, there were allegations of misappropriation of party funds. What can you say about that? Because some people feel that was the motivating factor for Peter Obi and Governor Alex Otti.
It's a fallacy and misleading Nigerian. It's fallacy and misleading of Nigerians. Tell me, like the Okada man that wants House of Reps in Kaduna, how much did he pay? I'm coming.
Honorable, we're not talking about Kaduna. We're talking about the national party.
That's what I'm telling you. It's a national party. I'm only trying to tell you about one person who contested election under the platform. 90% of those who contested election in the north didn't pay anything. They were given the ticket at the platter of gold. So where is the fund coming from? And I want to also,
what about those that bought forms for governorship elections?
I want to also tell you.
We just had by-elections.
I am telling you
how
now,
much did Labour candidates pay to get governorship ticket forms for Edo State and Ondo State?
I am telling you this, that what you're saying is right. And at the end of every political season, there are presentations. There are presentations of financial reports, and which the financial report was presented at Nnewi's Congress that we did, the convention we did at Nnewi. The reports were presented and we certified the report. You don't just go before election and start presenting a financial report. If you start doing that, it means somebody has sponsored you or you go against the party. So the report was presented. We adopted the report, we scrutinized the report, and we accepted the report before the election in Nnewi take place. And that we didn't see any faults whatsoever that there was misappropriation by Julius Abure.
Honorable, from what you have said,
yes,
is it not clear that Peter Obi may not really have an ulterior motive to want to hijack the party, of which his name was used to build its...
No. I will not agree with that for you. In the first place, Peter Obi came through where ABGA. Why didn't he go and hijack ABGA? In the second place, Peter Obi also ran election through PDP. Why didn't he go to run, go and hijack PDP? Because he came at a platter of gold. I was among those who canvassed for other aspirants to step down for him during the primaries in Asaba. I was there. We have about 12 other aspirants. We were talking to them, begging them to step down for him, which they did. So he wasn't the only presidential candidate aspirant we have as at then. But we felt because of his experience, we felt because he's somebody who has tested power before, he's going to harmonize and bring the party together. But we never know that he's going to come to hijack the party. And when I say among the hijackers,
so what do you think is the bone of contention here?
There is no any bone of contention because the party.
So
has
what's
gone back
the
to
motivation?
The owners of the party are Labour Party members.
Okay, so now let's move away from there. So what is the relationship like now? Because I asked Honorable Solomon earlier, for you, what's the relationship like? Do you think that the relationship is strained? I know Peter Obi has not come out, the relationship between Peter Obi and Abure.
Just like as I say, politics is a game of interest and choice. Politics is a game of interest and choice. Peter Obi may come today and say, I am still with Labour Party. And three months or 6 months to election, he may say, I've left Labour Party. He was still with PDP. He bought form under PDP. But a short time to election, he left PDP to Labour Party. So I will tell you that it's a game of choice. So he may come today and use body language and say, I'm still with Labour Party. But tomorrow, he may go and follow another political party. It's normal. It's something we know. Don't forget, I told you I've been a politician for long. I've been in Labour Party for long. I've contested various positions. So I know how some politicians who are not disciplined, who are only clamoring for power, I know what they do. They jump from one party to another, one pillar to post.
So those people who, to you, kind of pushed a smear campaign against Abure, are you trying to say that they were sponsored or they were instigated by Peter Obi?
That is the real word. I don't know who sponsored them, but I want to tell you they were sponsored. They were sponsored in order to cause chaos in the party. They are sponsored in order to cause disunity in the party. They are sponsored in order to cause division in the party so that the other persons may have their way. I'm telling you, that was what happened. They were sponsored and Peter Obi was not really looking very well. I knew his body language. I've told him that these persons are sponsored. He knew. Because they knew if Peter Obi still put on that force that we use for 2023 alongside with the Labour Party and this growth I am talking about continue, there is no doubt 2027 is going to be a walk away.
Now, before we get to 2027, we just had some by-elections. We had election in Ondo State and Edo State. How would you look at the performance? And could that be also a motivating factor for these lawmakers to defect, given the fact that they've seen, the kind of publicity that Olumide did in Edo State, and he still did not even get up to a sizable amount of the electorate vote, and then how the candidates also performed in Ondo State, and they are like, what's my political future going to be? Do you think that these internal wranglings are some of the things that has affected your party's chances in these elections?
Let me ask you, where is Olumide coming from? Go and make your background check because you're a media person. At least most of the time before you even bring a point into the studio, make your background check. Olumide was from APC and came to pick the ticket in Labour Party. And in the first place, it wasn't their zone, because I was meant to understand that in Edo State, the zone leadership, the party advised that the zone that has not gotten the clear of leadership should be given the opportunity. But Olumide insisted that he's going to contest, and he contested. And the party, he won the election, he won the primaries, which was air, and everybody saw it. Olumide won the primaries. But after winning the primary, he abandoned the party and was making do with his campaign team and the obedience. And don't forget that the party...
When you say he abandoned the party, can you be more specific?
Yes. At the point, Olumide was trying to infuse another leadership of the party in the state. You have not been elected governor. You are interfering in the party structure. Every political party have their structure. So if you come, you are only given a ticket, you work with your team and the party structure in order to go far. The word of God says a one will chase 1,000 and two shall put 10,000 to flight. Assuming Olumide go with his campaign team and at the same time go with the political party, as his campaign team are gathering team, he too, the party also are gathering team. Before you know, they will meet at the middle, he will win the election. But as I said, Edo election is something we know, that they always zone it from one zone to another. Olumide was coming from the zone of the outgoing governor. And the same outgoing governor happened to be the same person who worked with what? Who was the same zone with Adams Oshomole, which means their zone has produced governor for 16 years. Is that not bias already? He's a legal person. He's supposed to know the right thing. But he insisted and go. And when it came to the election, the people who were campaigning pleaded to the heart of those who have the voters, and the voters saw reason that no, it is time for us to change power to the other side, and they follow the other side.
Now, let's talk about the general relevance of opposition in Nigerian politics. Now, after these by-elections, of course, there's been this fear that, Nigeria is moving towards a one-party system. Do you share that doubt?
No.
Are you concerned?
I don't.
Why are you not concerned?
I am not concerned because every state has its own peculiarity. Every constituency has its own peculiarity. Every senatorial zone has its own peculiarity. So we will not say because of what happened in Edo, in Ondo, is the same thing that will happen in the north. No, it's not. It's not going to be. It is just the peculiarity of that state that happened to her. So when it comes to other states, their own peculiarity will happen to them. How comes it was easy for Honorable Ekene Adams to win election? Do you know the election that Kaduna won was the biggest election? It was the biggest slap. Because the person who was in the House of Reps in Chukwu Kajuru was in the House of Reps for 20 years. And a one-time man won the election. Why? Because the people are tired and the people need change. The same thing happened in Kaura local government where the Okada man came from. The person who was there for 16 years. But a one-time man came and won the election. That's why I said it all has its own peculiarity and what the people want.
Now,
so Nigeria cannot go to one-party system.
Do you think that case is reflected at the national level? Because that is the key problem. Because these people who are defecting from your party and going to the APC are definitely going to move. They're not just going to move alone. They're going to move from some members from your base.
Look,
is that not concerning for you?
Soldier go, soldier come, barrack remain. There were people before in PDP, and they later went to APC. There were people in APC, and a lot of PDP and APC came to Labour Party. And the same thing, if they remove the ones they remove, the people who are understanding what the politics is going, because politics is growing every day, and people are getting to have the understanding. A lot of people will still come back into the party. Don't forget, as they are going, they are opening doors for other people to have opportunity to do what? To come in. And as those people are coming in, they are also coming in with their own followership. So it's not a do or die thing. It's just something it's a rigmarole that must happen in politics.
Now, okay, so let's talk about 2027.
Okay.
How prepared is your party, given the dynamics that is going on? Yes, 2027 seems far away, but there's a whole lot of conversation. There's been talks of merger. Does the Labour Party buy into maybe a possible merger?
The Labour Party is not merging with any political party as long as today that I'm talking to you is concerned.
What about for presidential candidates?
For presidential, for whatever, Labour Party has not sat down. They've never discussed about anything merger.
Is there a possibility that could happen?
There is no possibility because it has not been discussed. It has not been discussed.
If
because it's too early to start saying that now.
What if your candidate is interested in that?
We don't have a candidate until when we get to that bridge. When we get to that bridge, we'll know how to cross it. Don't forget, we are just in 2024. There is 2025, there is 2026. And everything is expected to happen simultaneously.
But recall we had a little conversation before we came on set, and you were talking about planning and strategizing. Yes. It might seem far away, but of course, you know how Tinubu plotted his way to the presidency. It took 15 years. I'm just quoting your words.
And in the plotting of Tinubu, he never came to the media to talk about it. So how will you expect Peter Hassan to come to the media and tell the world?
He didn't come to the media, but any political observant person will definitely decode.
Those who are interested in various political powers, they have already started doing their permutation, negotiation, visitation, and they have started mapping and drawing their graph. When it comes to that time, they are going to make it open. But I'm telling you, for now, Labour Party is not planning any merger with any political party.
So what is your party doing at the moment to bring people back together, especially those who...
The party, in her wisdom, has opened the directorate for mobilization. And the work of the Directorate for Mobilization is to register people from the grassroots. As at last week, Friday, the National Executive Council gave an instruction, and in the whole 36 states, including FCT, they launched and inaugurated it. And to the glory of God, all our directorates have started working, and there are apps already for registration, and people are registering massively from every local government, every ward and every state. So we are working on it.
All right. Well, we'll definitely keep tabs of all the developments regarding the Labour Party. Once again, I want to thank you, Honorable Pastor Hassan Peter, for being with us.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here. Thank you.
All right, and that's our show for today. Many thanks for watching. To keep tabs with us Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays right here on LN 24/7. Once again, my name is Mono Palagwe. Thank you for watching.